Manchester United then through to the next round. Liverpool's poor start to 2021 continues as we welcome in Frank Leboeuf and Don Hutchison to the show. Don, let's start with you. United deserve the win?
Only just. I thought it was a much better performance from Liverpool, barring a Reece Williams mistake and a free kick. I thought Liverpool were very good, more so the second half, but it was a tight game. It was a really good game. It was much better than the league game. And because there was jeopardy on the game and someone was always going to go through in a cup tie, that's what made it for an entertaining game. No one could settle for a draw. And it was a great spectacle, but much, much better from Liverpool.
They lost, though, Don. Is this where we've got to? Is this where we got to Liverpool, that we're saying that it's great that they performed a lot better? They lost to their rivals, Manchester United, and you're painting this as an advancement, as progress for Jurgen Klopp's side, who are not, let's not forget, defending league champions.
Yeah, it was progress because the last month and a half, Liverpool have been terrible. They've never even looked like scoring in the last month and a half. They've been flat. When you watched them, you thought, well, teams will sit back against them. They're not going to create chances. Tonight, I saw a team that really had more confidence than they had
they lost.
in the last few weeks.
It's done.
That
last time they played Manchester United, they drew. They drew against them in the league, and you're saying this is progress now?
It is progress. You're just looking at the 3-2 scoreline and not looking at the performance from Mo Salah and Firmino, who have been terrible the last month and a half.
But you admitted that United deserved to go through.
Only just, but they didn't. Liverpool battered them in the second half. At 2-2, there was only one team that was going to win the game, and that was Liverpool. And then Bruno Fernandes comes on and scores a free kick. You can't change the whole narrative just because someone scores a free kick. That means Liverpool played bad and are in a crisis. No, they're not. They played great.
Does this not then epitomise how bad and how far they have fallen, Don, that we're painting this with an optimistic brush?
No, because you're just looking at a scoreline and you're going, right, Liverpool lost 3-2. Liverpool must have played bad. They didn't. They played really well in the game. As I said, at 2-2, I'm watching the game thinking, the way Liverpool are playing, they'll win this. Firmino was a different Firmino that we saw in weeks. Salah actually turned up. They had some really good performance. Reece Williams made a really, really rookie basic error. And as Shaka said, Alisson got done at his side from a free kick. So you've got to look at the whole game that you saw unfold in front of your eyes and go, right, let's analyse the game, not just analyse the scoreline. Let's analyse the game. Liverpool were much better from what they were against Fulham, Brighton, Newcastle, West Brom, Southampton. That was so much better. That gives me more optimism going into the Tottenham game in midweek than it would have done if they never played Man United and they come off the back of the dreadful loss last week. That gives me so much more confidence.
Frank Leboeuf, away from Liverpool TV, your thoughts?
Well, first I want to say that Manchester United did what they had to do, defending well, fighting very, very hard, and getting any possibility that they had. And I'm used to say that football is made of mistakes, and if you make a mistake, you allow the opponent to score goals. But it doesn't mean that you have to make terrible mistakes. So I will agree with Don about the offensive aspect of Liverpool game, where I think they were much better. They scored 2 goals, which didn't happen for a while. But defensively, it was terrible. They conceded 3 goals because of 3 huge mistakes. The first one is Milner jumping from nothing instead of chasing the ball behind him. The second is William, tackling and trying to get the ball and missing the ball. And the third one is Alisson Becker, who has to make sure that he keeps his side, protected, which he didn't. So, no, you cannot think that you can go through in a cup game against Manchester United, who are very, very clinical right now, with making 3 mistakes and conceding 3 goals. So of course, offensively, it was much, much better, and it's why I was annoyed at the end of the game. I said, I don't know if the best team won, but the thing is, the result reflects on what we saw. A good team offensively who missed chances, and we saw Salah had a third one, another chance to score another goal. He missed a volley or so at 3-2. But defensively, it's horrible what we saw from Liverpool.
But they have their problems at the back, obviously. We know the injuries they had. They got no Matip. They obviously Van Dijk.
Let me just see. I think I saw this so differently than Don. As much as, yes, it's an improvement. Liverpool had scored once in their last 5 coming into this one. Was it this one? I believe it is. So the fact that they scored 2 is an improvement. The fact that Salah had 2 very good finishes is an improvement on what we've seen from Mo Salah. And as I said during the commentary, we've not seen Firmino kind of drop into those positions in behind the striker and pick out passes as he did for the first. But even when Liverpool went a goal up, I never really felt that Liverpool themselves felt like they were in control of the game. Their body language was just saying something totally different to me. Especially, maybe it's because of the form that they've been in. And even in the second half, and no real surprise that Manchester United respond as quickly as they do. And during the second half, again, where I disagree with Don is, I felt Manchester United were always going to be the winners. And I was more surprised to see Liverpool get up the other end and get chances. Salah had one, yes. I think, was it Trent Alexander-Arnold had that volley late on. But that came more as a surprise than what I expected from the game, especially when you consider, and yes, their defensive problems, especially Williams on the park and how good Manchester United are on the counter-attack. I always felt like Manchester United were the ones who were going to go on and win the game, regardless of how that winner came.
Don?
We're just skirting over the fact that Milner missed a sitter from 6 yards. Did that not happen? I mean, of course, I agree with Shaka where he's saying, I didn't fancy Liverpool to keep a clean sheet. Why would you when they got Fabinho and Reece Williams at centre-halves? Now, that is going to make Liverpool vulnerable. Of course it is. But I must be watching a different game because I'm watching Liverpool at 2-2 and James Milner had a chance from 6 yards when he blazed it over the bar when he should have scored. And I'm watching them go forward thinking they're a final ball away from creating chances and scoring goals. And, I mean, the game that I watched, I thought Liverpool was so much better. And Frank's absolutely right. If you're going to gift Man United 2 goals, first one I thought Frank was a little bit harsh on James Milner. Great ball from Rashford. I thought that was a great goal from United's point of view. But Reece Williams and any other player in good form, ball lands at his left foot, he has a fresh air shot. You can't afford fresh air shots in an FA Cup or the Premier League or the Championship. You can't do it. You get punished. Then the free kick's a free kick. Brilliant from Bruno Fernandes, but a mistake by Alisson. But the game that I watched unfold in front of my eyes for 90 minutes, I thought Liverpool were very good.
So, Don, in that locker room right now, is there a positive vibe as they're travelling back to Liverpool from Manchester within the squad? Are they sat there going, well, we were much better today. We lost, but we were better?
No, not yet, no, because they've been knocked out of the FA Cup and that's raw and it's against their bitterest rivals, Man United. So I wouldn't have thought Jurgen Klopp, his backroom staff and the players will be looking at anything until tomorrow morning or the day after. But I'm pretty sure when you hear Jurgen Klopp speak, he will say he watched his side play tonight that was so much better. Right here, right now, they've gone out the FA Cup against Man United. That's a nightmare for Liverpool and Liverpool fans. But Liverpool fans watching that and Jurgen Klopp watching that must take heart surely going into the Tottenham game.
Frank?
Yeah, no, it was going to be a frustration, that's for sure. But there is a reason why, you know. Nothing worked defensively, and I talked about it. But I want to talk about the 3 wing backs, you know, Robertson and full-backs, sorry, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, who were completely determinant for Liverpool. And we don't see them anymore. I want to know if they change the way they play, if they're out of form, out of fitness, if Klopp decided to play otherwise. But normally, or maybe Manchester United find a solution to not see them anymore. But we didn't see them. Well, we know that we don't really see them defensively. And we saw when I put Milner guilty, but Robertson was maybe 30 yards too high on the field. But offensively, we don't see them anymore like we used to see them. They were feeding the 3 at front. By crosses themselves, you know, from right, from Alexander-Arnold to the other, Robertson. We don't see them anymore doing that. That was the key 2 years ago, a year ago. It's not anymore. So we have to wonder where the problem comes from as well. Because if the 3 at front, Firmino, especially and Salah today, because Sadio Mane came on after, found the solution to score goal again, I think the way they were scoring goals is because of Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. It doesn't resolve the defensive aspect of the game, but as you said, Van Dijk and Matip or Gomez not there anymore, and they are kind of an emergency substitution. But that's a real problem for Liverpool in the future. They resolved one problem, but we saw other problems coming up.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.